Hi guys, Helen the Russian here. So I listened to the video from Kevin the entrepreneur yesterday or day before. I think he recorded that, and he was talking about eBay possibly trying to experiment with new payment systems. And what they're proposing to do is actually quite disturbing to pretty much all the sellers, I'm gonna say. Yeah. And it has to do with the fact, like really quickly, if you want to know more, look at Kevin's video and he has the article. But basically, PayPal and eBay split, they sign non-compete agreement. It's now the time is where the agreement is going to be out, and eBay is thinking of creating their own payment system, which obviously will let them hold on to the money, to the seller's money, for whatever period of time they choose, so they can accrue interest. The problem is the seller won't get the money for quite some time, could be up for months. And also it creates some problems with the accounting. But more to the point, I do have eBay store, I have it now. Back, and I've been away from US, I've been in New Zealand, and although there is eBay in New Zealand, it's not very popular. New Zealand has its own trading platform called TradeMe. Honestly, it's not as... eBay is not fantastic. TradeMe is not as good as eBay for sure, but it's the platform, and that's what you use while you're there. While you can use eBay, New Zealand is very far away, so the postage costs are absolutely ridiculous as far as receiving things and shipping things, and so I never even considered having eBay store while I was there. But before then, back in, I had an eBay account. Actually, I had a couple of eBay accounts. And back then, I was just a rookie trader. I signed up on eBay because one of my friends told me, oh, it's a great place to buy cheap things when you need something, and it's a great place to find things when you can't find them, which was true. And then I did sell a few things, not over the years. We're talking up to probably 2005, 2006, so quite a few years back when PayPal and eBay were one and the same, back when you can still accept money orders for your things that you sold on eBay and various other things. So, because Kevin obviously tagged his video as eBay, there were a few other videos that popped up on the right hand side of my screen to watch, and some of them were about eBay buyer scams, or as to how some people try to scam the sellers. And I remember that story. I was scammed, and I didn't even realize the extent of the scam until just recently, really, because obviously at the time I tried to take care of it, it didn't work out, and then I forgot all about it. I was busy moving to a different country, selling my business, doing a few other things. Anyhow, here's what happened. So I came about this framed print. It belonged, like, long story short, not to bore anyone, it belonged to my then husband, who got it as very few things he got from his ex-wife. So bottom line is, she gave it to him because she didn't want it and he didn't want it particularly, so he didn't care about it. I certainly didn't want it in my house. It was nothing I liked, it, not my style, so I thought I'll sell it on eBay. And when I did a bit of a research, the artist was not exceptionally well known, but it's one of those mass market things that do sell for a couple, $300-400, right? So the print was framed and had glass over it. The frame and the glass didn't have any value. It was just a basic frame and a glass. And the print. So I listed it as, and it was matted, so it had matting around it. So I listed it. Back then, eBay only offered auction style listings. There was no fixed price listings back then. So I listed it for an auction, and lo and behold, it got sold for $130, which was significantly less, to be honest. Like I said, the print retail, I think it retailed about $350, $400, but that's what eBay is. You buy things for a significantly lower price. So I packaged that very carefully, and among other things, I used, I think, 3 different blankets and, of course, a few other things. And I mailed it to the guy in Florida. He was UPS. So I get a message from the guy a few days later saying, well, the package arrived, but I could hear rattling inside, so I assume it was broken, and I didn't even take it. I just told the UPS guy to take it away. I didn't even take it in. So I said, okay, well, once I get it back, we'll take care of it. Well, nothing arrived for quite some time, and then when it did arrive, I didn't even realize it was the same thing, because that print was fairly large. It was about just over a meter long, so not quite meter and a half, but maybe meter 20, and meter wide, so big thing, right? So this one day UPS guy comes and he hands me this little box. We're talking little, like maybe 9 inches by 9 inches, if that. Very light one. And honestly, it never even occurred to me, so remember, that was 2004, I think, or 2005, so before smartphones, well before smartphones. Never even occurred to me I was trying to remember what I ordered, because I order occasionally things online. So I'm like, okay, interesting, there is a box. Didn't recognize the return address, so I go and open the box, and imagine my surprise, where inside there is one of the blankets that I wrapped that print in. The smallest blanket and the lightest one as well. So the package was small and weighed literally nothing. And see, back then, like I said, I was a very casual seller and casual buyer, casual user of eBay altogether. And I have to say, quite naive though, to a point. And I genuinely believed the buyer. I believed the guy. I thought, he told me the truth. So for a long time, I thought it was UPS that stole my print, that somehow they heard the rattling, and at one of those depots somebody opened it up and then repackaged it. I now realize that sounded preposterous, but I totally believe it. So when UPS insures automatically, I didn't insure the thing additionally, and UPS automatically insures up to $100, I think, no more than 100. But they were unwilling to even do that, because they claimed no responsibility. They said the package was delivered that I shipped, and they had no idea about whatever I received. They're like, well, you got a package, what's the problem? Anyhow, and it took me forever calling everybody. Well, I was trying to explain all this to the guy, trying to get to the bottom of it, saying, look, I don't understand what happened. I got this tiny box with a blanket, but where's my print though? And he kept saying, well, I don't know nothing about it. It's all happened in transit. And he demanded money back. And I was really trying to explain in detail. I called eBay. I tried to explain the situation to them. And they ultimately, they took the buyer's side. So they yanked the money out of my account forcibly, meaning I didn't give them permission. And in fact, I purposefully, knowing that was going on, I purposefully took all the money out of my PayPal account. So there was no money on my PayPal account, but of course it's connected to my bank account. So they backcharged my PayPal account. So literally they stretched their hand, reached into my bank account, and took the money out. And I was now out of $130 plus shipping fees and no print. And so, like I said, time had passed and I forgot all about it and whatnot. But now that I watched some of those videos, I realized I was the victim of a very popular eBay scam. People do this. They order an item and they claim that something is wrong, item is not described or whatever, too blue, too whatever. And then they ship back something that's either not the actual item, something else, or item that they somehow they damage the item and that's why they want to return. That's in this case the guy gotten the print. I don't know. I'm not going to dispute that the glass possibly got broken in transit. That could have happened. But reality of it is the value of the item was not the glass. It didn't matter. The value of the item was the print and subsequently the matting and the frame, which was intact. Even without matting and the frame, the print had value. So he took my item and then he also left me, despite the fact that eBay yanked the money out of my account. So he got his money back. He left really nasty feedback, and it was all in capitals, which should have been. I like I said, back then I didn't know any better. I know now. Every time someone writes things in all capitals with multiple exclamation marks, multiple commas, and it's never a good sign. So that's what happened. Anyhow, now that I got back, I was actually, because that feedback it's few pages down, but it's still in my account. So you can click and look at the person's account. So I looked at that guy account thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna buy something. I bet he forgot all about me. I'm gonna buy something from him and do exactly the same thing. Unfortunately, although the account is there, it seems to be dormant. It doesn't show any activity for the past year, and nothing at all happening. I have to say though, now that I've watched several videos, it seems like the problem became quite bad during the years of 2015 and 2016 with the buyer scams. And then because it seemed like a lot of videos were dated during that time, and it seems like eBay inevitably took the buyer side and a lot of sellers got scammed. But it looks to me like eBay possibly reviewed their policy on this. Because I talked to some other sellers. My girlfriend is a big, huge seller on eBay, and a couple of girls that work with her that I know, and they all told me that eBay actually tries and look at it objectively and not necessarily takes the buyer side. There were quite a few cases they could cite that the eBay took the seller side because the seller was right that was happening. But anyhow, interesting story, and I kind of thought I'd share that. And those of you who trade on eBay, beware, because I'm sure you know by now how it all is. But yeah, there are so many unscrupulous people out there. It's just not even funny.